Hello, welcome to Going to Ground. Thanks for, I was going to say tuning in, but that suggests that you've had to adjust a little dial in order to connect with this particular station. But thank you for clicking in today, and I'm glad to be with you. I'm sat here at lunchtime with the sun streaming through the window here in Marlborough, and a clear, crisp, bright day, and just wondering about dreams, actually, for reasons that will become apparent when I read an extract to you in a moment. Do you take any notice of your dreams? I have to say that because a large number of mine are so odd, I discount all of them from having any deeper significance or purpose in my life. Do you know what I mean? Because so many are bizarre, I think, well, I can't give them any credence whatsoever. But of course, in many times and cultures, that's the minority view, and many cultures rate dreams very highly. And at different times of our history in this country, we've given dreams more weight. They have a lot of weight in the Bible, of course, don't they? Many of the great events are presaged or prefaced by significant dreams or visions. So we mustn't discount them, I think. And today the Church of England remembers Abbess Hilda of Whitby, whose life, Bede says, was the fulfilment of a dream. That's why I'm thinking about this. And in this wonderful book, which I've read for many times too before, his ecclesiastical history, he waxes lyrical about Hilda, who was the abbess of the monastery at Whitby in the 7th century, died in 680 AD. And she certainly appears to have been a paragon of the Christian life in that era. And he devotes many pages to her. And I'm just going to read a little extract, which I think is beautifully written and describes what the effect of her life in a way that is inspiring, really. This is what Bede says. Christ's servant Abbess Hilda, whom all her acquaintances called Mother because of her wonderful devotion and grace, was not only an example of holy life to members of her own community, for she also brought about the amendment and salvation of many living far distant, who heard the inspiring story of her industry and her goodness. It's a lovely pairing of words, that, isn't it? Industry and goodness. Her life was the fulfilment of a dream, which her mother Bregusith had when Hilda was an infant, during the time that her husband Hereric was living in banishment under the protection of the British king Cerdic, where he was poisoned. In this dream, she fancied that he was suddenly taken away, and although she searched everywhere, she could find no trace of him. When all her efforts had failed, she discovered a most valuable jewel under her garments, and as she looked closely, it emitted such a brilliant light that all Britain was lit by its splendour. This dream was fulfilled in her daughter, whose life afforded a shining example not only to herself, but to all who wished to live a good life. Isn't that lovely? What a wonderful gift the life of Hilda was, and a reminder that our hopes and dreams, and we often use the two interchangeably, don't we, as if not only the dreams that bubble up in our subconscious and at night, but also in the sense of what we really, really hope for but can't really imagine would happen. Those sort of outlandish hopes. And a reminder that those kind of dreams are not limited to our own action or our own industry and goodness, but to those who come after. And God's purposes, as so often in Scripture, are worked out well beyond us, far distant in time, and it may well be And this is the gift of the next generation, that their promise, their industry, their goodness are what brings the salvation or the fulfillment of the dream that we long for. I find that a really encouraging thing, to know that it's not all down to us, the things that we long for. There are others coming after us who, in whom the fulfillment may indeed come. Encouragement too, to live a jeweled life insofar as we can. And whether you're feeling dull or bright today, I love the inspiration of that image, that as Hilda's mother looked closely at the jewel, she discovered it emitted such a brilliant light that all Britain was lit by its splendour. Hilda was a shining light. We give thanks for her today and for all who illuminate our lives. God bless you as you go to ground.